we have to learn about the Indian Ocean Dipole, El Nino, La Nina, and the Madden-Julian oscillations, plus Walker cells. So, यहाँ पे, are you aware of the Walker cell? No? I haven't taught you about Walker cell? No. MJO we talked about in the beginning? No. Indian Ocean Dipole? थोड़ा बहुत हमने discuss किया. El Nino, La Nina, Monsoons of India, we have done it. Okay, let's quickly revise first the Monsoons of India, and then only you will be able to understand the rest. Right? So, see here. देखो मल्टीपल थियरीज है मॉनसून्स ऑफ इंडिया के लिए. द फर्स्ट थियरी दैट वी हैव टू टॉक अबाउट द मॉनसून्स ऑफ इंडिया इज द थियरी ऑफ ITCZ. ये सबसे पुराना थियरी है, एंड ऑल्सो द समर हीटिंग एंड द विंटर कूलिंग प्रिंसिपल इज ऑल्सो एसोसिएटेड विद दिस. जनरली अर्लियर हम क्या सोचते थे इन दी ओल्ड थियरीज में ITCZ प्लस द जेट स्ट्रीम्स इज मॉडर्न. मॉडर्न में रोल ऑफ जेट स्ट्रीम्स, एल निनो, ला निना, IOD, ये सारे चीज हम कैटेगरी में लिया जाता है. राइट नाउ ओल्ड थियरीज आर दैट वन वी यूज टू थिंक दैट इफ सपोज ड्यूरिंग द टाइम्स ऑफ समर, if this is your India, ठीक है, imagine this is your India. Summer time पे this will be acting as a low pressure system. ठीक है, ये low pressure system होगा, and these they tend to attract the winds from every direction. This is what we thought. But this was in the year 1800s, 1700s. यही सब हम सोचते थे. And during the times of winter time period पे the same low pressure used to convert into a high pressure system. ठीक है. Now the same low pressure system, we used to think that this used to convert into a high pressure system so that the winds used to diverge. This is what we have thought, and these are the old theories. But later we got to learn about the concept of ITCZ zone also. When we learned about the ITCZ zone, we got to know that the tricellular model of circulation हमने पढ़ा था. याद है? The tricellular model of circulation is Hadley cell, Ferrel cell, and polar cell. We thought that this is the circulation that is taking place, and in that some parts of the theory is true and some parts of the theory is false, that polar cell and the tropical cell, Hadley cell, these two are correct. But when it comes to Ferrel cell, the circulation of Ferrel cell is actually happening through cyclones. That is through temperate cyclones. Right? This is what you already know. Now, the next stage, the second theory that you need to know is ITCZ. That is nothing but intertropical convergence zone. So during the months of summers, you know that our ITCZ zone is somewhere here, right? And because of this ITCZ zone, please make sure to draw all of this in one single page ताकि आपको आसान होगा. This is your equator. ठीक है? Because of this equator, the winds are moving towards the ITCZ. We have been thinking about this ITCZ as a concept for the onset of the monsoon. And ITCZ, of course, it is true to an extent, but it is not the sole theory which is helping the monsoons to come onto India. Right? It is not the sole theory. In the months of winters, where is our ITCZ zone? Your ITCZ zone is south of equator, right? Now, during the times of winters, you got to see that the movement of wind system is this is what we have studied. Yes, यही तो हमने पढ़ा था ना. You are aware of all of this. याद है? Okay, clear. Very good afternoon, online. Yes. So now what we are going to learn, we are actually going to learn the modern theories. बाद में हमें समझ में आया, it's not just in the ITCZ zone that is playing a role. Along with ITCZ, बहुत सारा ऐसा factors है that are actually determining what kind of climate do we have in India. So this monsoon season can be studied either as summer monsoon and winter monsoon. ठीक है? Summer monsoons and winter monsoon season. In the summer also you have a monsoon season, and in the winter also you have a monsoon season. Now these monsoon seasons are affected by some changes across the globe. Now what are these changes? Weakening of the global circulation system, and that is impacting the movement of the global oceanic atmospheric circulations. So before that, you also need to have an idea on the Walker cell and the Hadley cell. So can you please draw the wind pattern on you in the book? Yes, tricellular circulation. The tricellular circulation patterns on the book. Yes. Done? You know about these circulations. देखिए, one thing, this is your Hadley cell, Ferrel cell, and this is your polar cell. Let's try to understand these circulations. If suppose, if I am weakening these trade winds, imagine the movement of this trade winds is very, very weak. Whenever the movement of the trade winds is weak, the movement of the trade winds will also impact the monsoonal system. कैसे? देखिए, where is your India? Your India is somewhere here, right? Do you agree? This is your India. So, monsoon system, we have studied this. The ITCZ zone during the times of summer, it will be here. This is going to be your ITCZ zone. During the times of summer, you know that this ITCZ zone, all these winds, they cross the equator and they turn towards their right. Right? Now, for some reasons, imagine for some reasons, the winds that are present in the southern hemisphere, they got weakened. ठीक है? इसका मतलब ये है, if I am weakening this Hadley cell, are you able to follow or not? Just try to tell me. ये बताओ, if I am weakening this Hadley cell, the total circulation, if I am weakening, that will also weaken the monsoon system, right? Now, why these winds get weakened or stronger? Why? So, चाहत का कहना है, सर जितना हाई प्रेशर और लो प्रेशर की डिफरेंस होगा उसके कारण. Now, why the difference in the pressure? Temperature. Recent times में what are we getting to hear? Climate change, increase in the temperature. That means climate change in one or the other way is impacting the movement of the monsoonal winds. This movement of the monsoonal winds not just impact these movement of the winds, they impact the global atmospheric circulation. Right? Now I'll come back to this point after 10 to 15 minutes, but before that, let's try to complete. Now whatever you learn it here, you should also apply it here as well. Right? So आपने अभी तक दो theories ऊपर से पढ़ा है. One, the ITCZ theory. ITCZ theory says that as and when the ITCZ zone moves towards the north, the wind system also move towards the north. If the ITCZ movement is moving towards the south, the wind system is also moving towards the south. Now this was the theories which were considered to be early theories in the year 1850s and 1860s. देखिए, ये जो theory है ना, mostly the ITCZ role is the primary role. But later what we got to learn is, we started to learn about jet streams. Now jet streams played a vital role. And local level anomalies हमने पढ़ने लगा. Then we understood the local level anomalies are the major reasons why your monsoonal system is being disrupted. Right? We are going to learn these aspects. So old theories are: one, continental land heating and cooling of the land. This is the first theory. Second theory is ITCZ zone, but this is not 100% false. इसमें element of truth is there. Near about 30 to 40% of the concept of ITCZ is true. Now coming to the modern theories, the modern theories here nothing but jet stream. Jet stream during the winter and during the summer. Winter jet streams and summer jet streams. So, where is this jet stream present? यहाँ पे the jet streams are present here, right? This is one jet stream. This is another jet stream. ठीक है? So let's try to understand this. During the times of winter, the role of a jet stream plays a vital role here. देखिए, if this is your India, इक्वेटर. वेयर इज द ITCZ जोन? विंटर में. I'll use a different color for ITCZ, that's your pink color. So यहाँ कहीं होगा ना ITCZ zone. So the winds that I am drawing here, these are surface winds. ठीक है? These are surface winds. That means northeast monsoons active होगा. And what do you mean by monsoon? Monsoon here means right. Let's see the role of a jet stream. This role of a jet stream is present at 8 to 10 kilometers. Winter में जो rainfall होता है ना India में, half of India, that means this part of the region, the east coast of India receives its rainfall in the form of northeast monsoons, which is also known as retreating monsoon season, right? This is also called as retreating monsoon season. इस retreating monsoon season में the jet streams are like this. One moves towards the south. This is what we have studied. Yes? Why does the jet stream bifurcates? Tibet area में, here you find high pressure, right? And the air is sinking. Clear? Next, let's try to understand the same in the case of summer. Where is your ITCZ zone? It is somewhere here, right? That means equator is, this is your equator. The movement of the winds are like this. Northeast monsoon Punjab में भी आता है क्या? This is the question that is asked by Chahat for online. Northeast monsoon in the form of retreating monsoon, it will not come on to Punjab. But during the times of winter, it comes in the form of western disturbances. Western disturbances की form में आता है. Or false. It is false. देखो, before I get into this, let me clear this doubt. During the times of winter, the India receives its rainfall in the times of winter from two different sources. One source, which major part of northern part of India, it is receiving its rainfall in the form of western disturbances. ठीक है? In the form of western disturbances. Clear? Now, which states do receive this western disturbances? Punjab, Haryana, some parts of Rajasthan, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, plus UT of Ladakh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, to an extent, West Bengal. Yes. The western disturbances are present in the northern plains. Now, other parts of the rest of the India, such as northeast India, full, including West Bengal, plus east coast of India, they receive the rainfall of proper western disturbances, right? Sorry, they receive the rainfall because of the northeast trade winds, right? Northeast trade winds will bring rainfall into northeast India plus eastern coast of India, especially the coast of Tamil Nadu. The coast of Tamil Nadu receives its rainfall only in the northeast monsoon season. That means ये October to December months में बारिश होगा, right? Today the rainfall which you got to see in the northern parts of India, it's a clear-cut sign of the onset of the southward movement of the jet stream. हाँ, similar time पे ये होता है, similar time पे ये होता है. I'll tell you the reasons why do you have all of these rainfalls, right? So that means in winter the rainfall is because of the western disturbances and also because of the northeast monsoon season. Together, half of the northwest India and the northern part of India receives because of western disturbances, and rest of India they do have the rainfall because of northeast monsoon, northeast trade winds, right? This is your winter. Now come to the summer. During the times of summer, the southwest monsoons play a vital role. ठीक है? During the summers, the rainfall in India is primarily because of the southwest monsoon or southwest trade winds plus convectional rainfall. These two play a vital role. Convectional rainfall and the southwest monsoon. देखिए, here you get to see the winds. Right. Now what about jet stream here? Himalayas यहाँ पर है. And you also know the role of the Tibetan region. Tibet is a low pressure region. यहाँ पे the air rises. I hope you remember all of this. Anything that rises, it will try to converge. Sorry, it tries to diverge. This is what you get to see in the upper horizons. So now see here, the jet stream that is present is actually moving like this. Imagine this is your jet stream. One part of the jet stream goes like this, another part of the jet stream takes a turn like this. No. This is during the summer. This is your summer. And this is your subtropical westerly jet stream. And this is your subtropical easterly jet stream. Now, why did it take a turn? क्योंकि यहाँ low pressure है. Air after rising, they'll start to diverge, right? Now, this air which is diverging, ये जो diverging air है ना, it will also pull the jet stream towards India. मतलब diverge होके push करता है. That means one wing of the jet stream is traveling in one direction, the other wing of the jet stream is being broken. You know the characteristics of a jet stream, that jet streams can break, jet streams can also conjoin, jet streams can also diverge and converge. Right? Got it? See, यहाँ पर आपको ये एक चीज समझना है. I'll take you back here. You need to understand the strength of the jet stream. If this is your jet stream, imagine if this is your jet stream which is flowing at a height of 8 to 12 kilometers की ऊंचाई पर, the jet stream will be stronger if your wind system is stronger, right? Overall circulation अगर strong होगा तो jet stream strong होगा. अगर overall circulation ही weak है तो jet stream weak है. Now tell me, what are primary circulations, secondary circulations and tertiary circulations? यस, प्राइमरी में क्या होता है? प्राइमरी में प्लैनेटरी विंड्स एंड ट्रेड विंड्स, जेट स्ट्रीम्स. सेकेंडरी में, सेकेंडरी सर्कुलेशन में साइक्लोन्स. टेरिशरी सर्कुलेशन में लोकल विंड्स. तो आप बताओ, अगर प्राइमरी सर्कुलेशन मेरा वीक है, वीक इन द सेंस विंड्स तेज नहीं जा रहा है, प्रेशर सिस्टम अच्छा डेवलप नहीं हुआ, तो मूवमेंट ऑफ विंड विल नॉट टेक प्लेस. इन सिंपल टर्म्स, व्हाट इज विंड? Wind is nothing but movement of air, right? Now why the air moves? Because pressure difference is there. Now why do you have a pressure difference? Temperature variation is there. Got it? So temperature का ही कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया तो my pressure system will also get impacted, my wind system will also get impacted, speed of the winds will get impacted. Because of that, my jet streams will get impacted. If my jet streams are impacted, they are also going to impact my rain. All these things are interlinked, more or less. So now I am going to come to the concepts of El Nino and La Nina. ठीक है? Plus Indian Ocean Dipole. इतना तो हमने पहले भी पढ़ चुका है. In the previous classes, we are very much clear about all of these aspects. Right? So, this यहाँ पे कोई डाउट्स है क्या? ऑनलाइन डू यू हैव एनी डाउट्स? वेरी गुड आंसर बाय मनु. टेम्परेचर. सूरज. यस, एनी डाउट्स टिल हियर? ओनली देन यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द फर्दर टॉपिक्स. ओके, जस्ट गिव. Okay, now we have to learn about the modern theories of the monsoonal, that is jet streams, El Nino, La Nina, Indian Ocean Dipole, MJO. ठीक है? First we will try to learn about a cell called Walker cell. ठीक है? Walker cell. Only then you will be able to understand further topics. देखिए, look at this circulation. These are global atmospheric circulations. But लेकिन Walker cell मतलब, Walker cell is a latitudinal cell. I'm using the word, it's a latitudinal cell. For example, you got to know these cells are cutting across the latitudes. Right? They are cutting across the latitudes. ये एक latitude है, ये एक latitude है. ये हवा जो है ऐसे घूम रहा है. But Walker cell circulations are those circulations which actually move in this direction. ठीक है? That means, imagine if there is a high pressure system here, there is a low pressure system. They rise and they go and sink at the high pressure. Right? This is called Walker cell. And these Walker cells, they are present in the tropical region. ठीक है? Now these are local cells. As and when the earth starts to move, they also keep on moving. Right? जैसे मानसून के टाइम पीरियड पे ना ये वॉकर सेल हमेशा मूव करते रहते हैं. Every week or 10 days you will find the change of the position of the Walker cell. Right? Change of the position of the Walker cell. It's like this. So if I have to draw this, that means it rises. This is how. But try to imagine this in a three-dimensional view. The air rise, moved, and then sinking. This is how circulation. But if I am turning the earth like this, now these positions will also keep on changing their movement. ठीक है? This is called a Walker cell. So Walker cell disturbances are quite common on a regular basis. कभी ये जो सेल है अगले महीने में यहाँ पर नहीं होगा, it will change its position here. That means in the next 15-20 days, the Walker cell high pressure can be here and low pressure system can be here. they make a cell like this. ठीक है? And the previous cell which you have learnt, they are no longer present. ठीक है? ये जो previous cell है ना, ये it is absent completely. Right? That means the same cell has changed its position. To explain this, let me open the Google Earth first. If you remember, we were doing climatology during the times of monsoon time period, right? So उस time पे jet stream कहाँ पे था? I have shown you the jet streams also clearly. The wind system, the monsoon wind systems were also going on to India, right? But लेकिन आज का system देखो, the winds are now moving towards south. याद है हमारा जो wind system during the months of June, July, there was ITCZ zone here and the winds were moving in this direction. Right? This is what we have seen. But today it is, the ITCZ has moved towards the south. Now those students in the online, if you are not able to see it, what you can do is on another tab, you can open up Windy, W-I-N-D-Y. Windy open करो, वहाँ पे आपको पता चल जाएगा. It will be easy for you to understand there. Okay. So here, in today's time period, this is the situation. Now, what do you mean by Walker cell? Walker cells means, देखिए, कुछ ऐसी wind system होता है. Wind system means it can be present like this. Imagine there can be a cell that can be formed here. There can be another cell that can be formed here. Imagine this is your low pressure system. This is your high pressure system. Now winds shall start to move and sink here. This is called Walker cell. That means horizontal cells. कुछ टाइम के बाद क्या हो सकता है, ये जो Walker cell है ना, ये पोजीशन चेंज कर सकते हैं. That means this entire cell can move to next area. The new cell that can be formed here can be like this. Here can be your high pressure system and low pressure system यहाँ पे बन सकता है. ठीक है? The same cell can change its position. Now, why we need not go too much into details how these Walker cells are formed, because these are extreme levels of wind systems के बारे में. हाँ, ये पूरा अर्थ के राउंड घूमते रहते हैं. Now let me show you a small video. See here, these are your Walker cells. ठीक है? They keep on changing their positions. Try to look at this position first. Only आप इसी को देखो. Here there is rising air, but after some time you will see that there is sinking air that is present. क्यों? ये position change करते रहते हैं. That is part and parcel. Quite common है. Now these are local cells, not permanent cells. एक Walker cell है. एक box एक Walker cell है. ठीक है? Multiple boxes, multiple Walker cells. Just a minute. Okay. Now coming to the concept of, are you clear of Walker cells? कोई doubt है यहाँ पर? Manu, I'll explain the monsoon system with Coriolis force little later. Please be patient. I'll come back to that topic. But यहाँ तक clear है, Walker cell समझ में आ गया ना? These are horizontal cells which keeps on moving. These are local cells. They keep on changing the position from one place to another place. It's like this. That means अर्थ रोटेट करते रहते हैं, ये सेल्स भी अपना पोजीशन चेंज करते रहते हैं. इसीलिए वॉकर सेल्स कभी कभार इंडिया के ऊपर whenever they have their influence, you will also see that break in the monsoons takes place. ठीक है, break in the monsoons takes place. Have you heard of this concept, break in the monsoon? NCERT में पढ़ा है monsoonal breaks. जैसे बारिश के मौसम में ना लगातार बारिश होते रहते हैं, बीच में एक हफ्ता बारिश बंद है. ये एनसीईआरटी में ये लिखा होता है, द ब्रेक इन द मॉनसून्स इज बिकॉज ऑफ द विंड स्टार्ट्स टू मूव पैरेलल टू द कोस्ट लाइन. ये दिस इज द वर्डिंग दैट दे हैव यूज्ड. द विंड स्टार्ट्स टू मूव पैरेलल टू द कोस्ट लाइन्स. इट इज नथिंग बट द प्रेजेंस ऑफ वॉकर सेल्स. सो I'll come back to this topic little later. Now let's move towards the El Nino and we'll try to interlink here. So देखिए, the concept of El Nino is like this. Now you know that our earth, entire earth is a system. We are studying this earth as a system, right? There is air rising at one place and air sinking at another place. Like this, our earth के ऊपर कोई भी कहीं पे भी एक जगह अगर changes देखने के लिए मिलेगा ना, पूरा entire earth के ऊपर you will get to see the changes in the system. Right? Which system? Wind system. That wind system will impact monsoons. So during the times of El Nino time period पे क्या होता है? It's like this. So the monsoonal winds that are coming onto India, they come from which hemisphere? Yes, the monsoonal winds that are coming onto India, they are coming from which hemisphere? Yes, summer monsoon. And the water contribution or the source of rainfall to India, 70% of India receives its rainfall from southwest monsoons, 30% or 25% from northeast monsoons and western disturbances. So here you have to understand one thing: the winds that are coming to India are actually coming from south. Now due to the Coriolis force, once they enter into the northern hemisphere, they turn towards their right. So this is the direction, towards their right, towards their right. Now where are these winds coming from? They're actually coming from southern hemisphere, right? That means if I am making any changes in this, don't you think that there will be changes on the winds that are coming onto India? And this is what is happening during the times of El Nino time period. देखो, आज तक किसी को ये नहीं पता एल नीनो का मेजर रीजंस क्या है. IPCC reports say that climate change is the reason. Scientists say that multiple factors are factoring in. So we do not have the clarity what are the reasons for the formation of El Nino conditions. But we definitely know that climate change is one of the reasons. Climate change, in simple terms, increase of temperature is one of the reasons. So during the times of actual, एक normal season पे क्या होता है? Let's try to understand. Let's try to understand what is happening during the normal times. So normal times में, if I draw the entire global map here, so right? Is this the map? So let's try to understand what is happening during the normal times. During normal times in the months of summer, our ITCZ zone is, where is our ITCZ? यहीं पर है ना, right? So the winds are moving in this direction. So ये कौन सा winds है इस gap में? What kind of winds do you see here and here? Easterlies. So the winds are here, they are easterlies. Am I right? Coriolis force in the southern hemisphere is, now these winds, as soon as they cross the equator, they are moving towards ITCZ zone. It is actually यही जो wind है जो इंडिया के ऊपर मानसून लेके आ रहा है. That means the winds that are coming from the southern hemisphere are the ones which are moving towards the north. It is like this. Coriolis force के कारण they turn towards their right. Now imagine there is some kind of changes that are happening in this sea. ठीक है? Earth गोल है. The earth is round. So the same thing, that means you will see that यहाँ पर right, the same extension you will get to see here, right? Now which ocean is this? Which ocean is this? It is Pacific Ocean. So ये है normal times में जो wind system है ना, ये ऐसे जा रहा है. Got it? That means trade winds are moving onshore or offshore on South America. This is your South America, right? On the western coast of South America, are the trade winds onshore or offshore? They are offshore winds. That means the winds are moving in this direction. यहाँ पे आपको, you should not just have the knowledge of winds that are present in the air. You also need to have the knowledge of winds that are the movement of water that is taking place in the ocean. इसीलिए El Nino is a concept. The concept of El Nino is called as El Nino here, global oceanic and atmospheric phenomena changes. That is, changes in the atmosphere, changes in the ocean that is taking place. Right? So, आप बताओ, आपको oceanography भी पता है अभी. अगर offshore winds है, do you have upwelling or do you have downwarping on this side of the coast? Yes? Rohit says upwelling. Does everyone agree to it? Online, please do also answer it. Do you have upwelling or downwarping? Upwelling. Right. Good. So, मैं क्या करूँगा? I'll use a different color here for upwelling and downwarping of water. That means the water is coming up and the water is moving towards Australia. And on the Australia, what kind of water do you get to see? This is what is the circulation, right? Now, in the Indian Ocean, the water is moving. That means here you have cold water. As they move, this is what the circulation you will get to see. देखिए, आज तक during the times of El Nino क्या हो रहा है हमें completely नहीं पता. But लेकिन जो भी whatever is given in the books, whatever is given in the accepted by the media, the weather media, also accepted by the geography authors, that I'll be teaching you. ठीक है? And some inputs which you can give in the exam, that I'll be telling you. Now, the process of El Nino says that during the times of El Nino, they say that the entire circulations that are taking place on the earth, they are experiencing weakness. ठीक है? Imagine the winds in the southern hemisphere are getting weaker. Will the winds move fast? If the winds are moving slow, the winds that are coming onto India, they will also be slow. Again, the monsoon that comes onto India, that will also fail. Yes. So, they say that for reasons not known, जहाँ पे low pressure conditions होना चाहिए during the times of January in the Australia, during the times of winter in Australia, winter in Northern Hemisphere, what kind of weather do you have in Australia? Opposite of whatever the weather you have in the Northern Hemisphere, you will have it in the Southern Hemisphere. ये January महीना है, January month में यहाँ पे क्या होता है? Normal time period पे क्या होगा? You will have summer. That means which kind of pressure? Low pressure system. There will be rising of air, right? And then यहाँ से water upwelling हो रहा है, ठीक है? Upwelling water will have what kind of weather above? If I have upwelling water here, what kind of weather I'll be having above the sea level? दोबारा सोच के बताओ. Canary current याद है? Keep your atlas open. Open your atlas. Open your atlas. Online, please open your atlas. Go and look on to canary current. Yes? So canary current pe, on the western side of the canary current, next to the canary current, do you have desert-like conditions? Why are these deserts? Cold weather conditions. So dry season hoga वहाँ पर. What kind of pressure do you have? High pressure? Just open. First open it. Page number 99. Online, please be with me. Page number 99. Down warping. Okay. यहाँ पे upwelling होने के कारण and the weather above. For example, if you see, imagine this is your sea. ठीक है, ये आपका sea है. ठीक है. What I have taken this part of the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and I am showing you this Pacific Ocean here. Right? So, एक तरफ ये मान के चलो, here you have South America. What kind of winds do you have here? Onshore, offshore? Offshore winds. And here you have Australia. These are onshore winds. So, आप बताओ, यहाँ से जो पानी होगा, that will be upwelling, and that keep on traveling. While they keep traveling, they get warmer, and then here, down warping. Right? ये पानी गर्म है, ठीक है? पानी गर्म हो तो किस टाइप की वेदर होगा? ये hot water, right? And the weather here is also here. What kind of pressure do you have? This is summer. ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर है यहाँ पर, इसी एरिया में ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर भी है. आप एटलस देख लो, आपको समझ में आएगा. राइट? तो द सन रेस इज वेरी डायरेक्ट ड्यूरिंग द मंथ्स ऑफ जनवरी एंड इट्स अ वेरी हॉट सीजन दैट इज टेकिंग प्लेस. ये लो प्रेशर की सिचुएशन है और यहाँ पे देखो गर्म पानी है कंपैरेटिवली. सो ये जो गर्म पानी क्या होगा? दे evaporate and then they form clouds. What kind of pressure is this? This is low pressure. That means this entire area is acting as a low pressure. Now here, you will have cold water. Here you will have warm water. Right? Now, what kind of pressure system do you have here? High pressure conditions. ये high pressure conditions हो तो what kind of sinking air you will have? That means the air that is present here is of sinking in nature, and this sinking air which moves, and finally, this is the air that is rising, will give you rainfall, and it makes a cell. ये क्या हो गया? ये सेल कौन सा सेल है? हैडली मत बोलना, हैडली ये सेल है. हाँ, so overall this is nothing but समझ गया वॉकर सेल और हैडली सेल. हैडली सेल कौन सा है? हैडली सेल यहां पे, इफ आई टेक दिस एंड ड्रॉ इट एज अ हैडली सेल, this is your earth, this is your equator, this is your tropic of Cancer, the wind system that is present here, this is your Hadley cell. ठीक है? In other words, got it? That means ये Walker cell है, ये Hadley cell है. So see here, ये एक normal condition है. ठीक है? अब एल नीनो टाइम्स पे क्या होगा ना, इंस्टेड ऑफ द विंड्स आर वीकेंड हियर, विंड्स आर कंप्लीटली वीकेंड. ठीक है? व्हाई इज दिस वाटर मूविंग इन दिस डायरेक्शन? विंड इज द वाटर दैट इज मूविंग, मेकिंग द वाटर टू मूव, राइट? यूजुअली द सेंट्रल पार्ट ऑफ द ओशन विल हैव वार्म वाटर एज कंपेयर टू द कोस्टल एरियाज. ठीक है? रिमेंबर दिस एज अ थंब रूल. The central part of the ocean is least disturbed as compared to the coastal areas, right? Ideal cases में तो central part of the ocean के पास ना थोड़ा गर्म पानी होता है. You know the specific heat concept. Specific heat says that water gets heated slowly and they also lose the heat very slowly. तो एक बार अगर heat gain कर लिया ना, heat उनके पास store करके रखता है. Your ideal conditions में the water will be like this. So let me show you. This is your water. The central part of the equatorial Indian Ocean has comparatively warm water. Yes? Pacific Ocean. It has warm water. Now, if my trade winds are moving like this, यहाँ पे upwelling होकर on this side you see upwelling, and this water, this as and when they start to move, this warm water, you'll get to see the warm water is present here, and you'll have cold water presence here, right? Now, why this warm water started to move in this direction? Why is this warm water moving towards Australia? High pressure to low pressure, but who is making them to move? Wind, right? Now, for some reasons, you don't know what the reason is. And the wind became weak. The wind became weak. Wind के पास इतना ताकत नहीं है ये जो पानी को आगे push करे. Right? You know, at the end, the wind is the one which is making the rain to happen. The wind is the one which is making this ocean circulations to happen. Now, why does the wind move? Pressure difference. Why the pressure difference variation is? Temperature. तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया में क्या होता है ना, टेम्परेचर वेरिएशन अचानक से देखने के लिए मिलता है. रीजंस क्लाइमेट चेंज. ठीक है? रीजंस विच वी आर नॉट अवेयर ऑफ. What exactly is the primary reason? A mixed response, mixed set of reasons which will add together to a cumulative entity acting as a reason for the movement of this water. So, ये देखो, ये normal conditions है. Water is moving towards Australia. But during the times of El Nino, what happens is that the water will not move in the same direction. But before that, again, you need to know about thermohaline circulations or thermocline. Thermocline का concept याद है आपको? What is thermocline? If suppose, if I have warm water here, thermocline is a layer, it is this layer. अगर आपको याद है, I have drawn a graph like this, here 0 meters of height of the depth of the ocean, and this is 5,000 meters depth of the ocean. I told you that ये एक लेयर होता है, ऊपर जो लेयर है टेम्परेचर, एंड स्पेशली इन दिस पार्ट ऑफ द लेयर द टेम्परेचर विल बी ड्रास्टिकली रिड्यूस्ड. ठीक है, टेम्परेचर काफी ज्यादा रिड्यूस होता है, एंड दिस लेयर इज कॉल्ड एज थर्मोक्लाइन लेयर. राइट. सो आप बताओ, अगर मेरे पास गर्म पानी इधर है, मेरा थर्मोक्लाइन लेयर, इफ आई एम ट्राइंग टू डाइव डीप इनटू द ओशन, विल आई गेट, मतलब इन सिंपल टर्म्स, इफ सपोज if warm water is present here, will I see the thermocline layer near to the surface or far away from the surface? Yes? Let me repeat this question. If my warm water is present here and this is cold water, in which case do I find the thermocline near to the surface? Cold water पे? Okay. रोहित का कहना यह है, सर जहां कोल्ड वाटर होगा वहां पे जल्दी थर्मोक्लाइन देखने के लिए मिलेगा. बट ओके, लेट्स अग्री टू रोहित. नाउ फर्स्ट लेट मी आस्क यू अनदर क्वेश्चन. द क्वेश्चन इज, टिल व्हाट डेप्थ डू यू सी दिस थर्मोक्लाइन? अराउंड 400-500 odd meters पे आपको ये थर्मोक्लाइन देखने के लिए मिलता है. थर्मोक्लाइन लेयर जो है, it will be like this. If warm water is present, the depth of the thermocline will be more. Do you agree? The depth of the thermocline, this is your thermocline. Depth of the thermocline will be more. See, let me come back to the concept of thermocline here. This is your 0 meters, this is your 500 meters, 1000, 4000, and this is 6000. This is ocean water. Imagine this is your sun. Sun can reach its sunlight till what depth? Maybe 200-300 meters. So ये मान के चलो, I'll also draw the temperature graph. ठीक है? Here this might be 27 degrees Celsius, 28, 20, 15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. This is the temperature. Now at surface के पास 0 meter के पास the temperature will be 27 degrees Celsius. Now as I go little more depth, if I increase the depth, the temperature will be 20. Right? Now if I increase the depth up to 500 odd meters, उस temperature पे, उस depth पर I don't see any sunlight and it's pitch dark. Right? And this is where the temperature drastically reduces, right? So imagine this is the layer. From this point, let's consider इस यहां से लेकर यहां तक, ये जो टेम्परेचर है यहां तक 15 डिग्री सेल्सियस है, बट लेकिन 500 और 1000 मीटर्स की डिफरेंस में द टेम्परेचर ड्रास्टिकली ड्रॉप टू 6 डिग्री सेल्सियस, और नीचे का ऐसा ही है. राइट. नाउ दिस इज द केस ऑफ सन. जब सन ब्राइट है, सन ब्राइट होगा तो ऊपर का पानी क्या होगा? गर्म होगा. और ऊपर से इन द प्रीवियस केस, imagine if this warm water is also with you. Imagine this warm water is also with you. Don't you think that the depth of the thermocline, will it be on the top or lower? Understood now? If warm water is present, the thermocline depth will be little lower. The thermocline will be present till lower. Now let's take the case of cold water. ठीक है? Same case, let's take the case of cold water. Chad, you understood? Rohit, are you clear? Now here sun is not so bright. Okay, this is winter, or cold water is present above. 27 degrees Celsius, 25, 20, 15, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, like that. You see that the top temperature will not even reach 27. Already the top temperature during the times of winter, sun itna harsh nahi hoga, so temperature itself is already colder. The top temperature is only 20 degrees Celsius. So at this depth itself, 500 to this depth itself, you will find that yahan tak aate aate yahan pahunch gaya. That means this is 400 meters, 400 to 700 meters mein you got to see this thermocline. Now thermocline is a layer where the temperature drastically drops. ठीक है, the temperature drastically changes. ठीक है, अब समझ में आ गया, जहां पे कोल्ड वाटर होगा थर्मोक्लाइन क्या होगा, ऊपर की तरफ होगा एंड थिकनेस बहुत कम होगा. जहां गर्म पानी है थर्मोक्लाइन विल बी, इट इज लिटिल डीपर. नाउ लुक एट दिस डायग्राम. This diagram shows you the thermocline layer. This is during the normal conditions. Are you able to understand? Yes, this is during the normal conditions. यहाँ पे कौन सा पानी है, गर्म या ठंडा? During the normal times, this is your warm water. देखिए यही जो पानी था, this water which was warm due to trade winds came and pushed that water onto the Australia, right? And गर्म है, गर्म पानी है, तो थर्मोक्लाइन क्या होगा, इस तरफ होगा. So देखिए, there you have cold water, here you have warm water, and this is a cell that is running in the ocean. Chad, look here, right? Okay, got it. ये normal condition है. Now coming to the concept of core of El Nino, during the times of core of El Nino, what happens is that the entire circulation changes. Now normal times में बारिश होगा on the east coast of Australia, west coast of Australia, no rainfall, drought-like conditions. Now people go there, go for fishing activities, cold water है, upwelling है, तो अच्छा खासा fishes मिलेगा, right? And here rainfall, Australia will go for cropping pattern and coral reefs. You have the flourishment of these coral reefs. But this is your wind circulation, ठीक है? ये हो गया आपका Walker cell, right? This is your ocean cell. Now this particular pattern, which is a normal pattern, now it will be reversed completely. Reversal क्यों है हम जानते नहीं हैं. It is just a global atmospheric phenomena which is changing the global temperatures that has also caused the changes on the pattern of the Australia. Now one more thing, if there are any changes on this particular ocean, why are we worrying in India? क्योंकि इंडिया का जो मॉनसून आता है ना, कहां से आता है, यही तो है विंड. ITCZ जोन कहां पर है, अब समझ में आया? That means the changes that are happening here are also can also have the potential to impact the India. So imagine, instead of winds moving in a good speed, their movement is weakened, right? Why it is weakened? Temperature is not so strong, and this is what is happening during El Nino. El Nino times pe kya hoga? Instead, this warm water coming onto Australia, what the warm water will do is, the warm water shifts towards the west coast of Peru. ठीक है, ये क्यों हो रहा है? Look here, wherever you find cold water, drought-like conditions will be there. Wherever you find warm water, rainfall. So Peru में, they are not happy with that rainfall. ठीक है, flooding-like situation they will see during the abnormal conditions, El Nino time period. This is what you see is the El Nino time period पे. El Nino time period पे ये जो central part of the Pacific Ocean which is there, it is usually warmer in nature, normal time periods. That has to come towards the east coast of Australia, but now you will see the water moving towards the west coast of Peru. Now why the water is moving in reverse direction? Winds के पास इतना कैपेसिटी नहीं है जो पानी को उस तरफ लेके जाए. ठीक है, they are spreading actually, and cold water is present here. कहाँ पर? बी स्पेसिफिक. हाँ, दिस इज द कंडीशन ऑफ एल नीनो. चाहत का क्वेश्चन ये है, ही इज आस्किंग मी सर ये एल नीनो कंडीशन है, यहाँ पे वार्म वाटर कंडीशन है, तो यहाँ ऑपरेशन होगा तो बारिश होगा. यस, नॉर्मल कंडीशन. दिस इज योर नॉर्मल कंडीशन. यस. हाँ, नाउ चाहत का क्वेश्चन ये है, सर अगर मैं इस कंडीशन पे लूं, ये सेंटर है, जब सेंटर में गर्म पानी होगा तो बारिश कहां पर हो रहा है? बारिश ऑब्वियसली इट इज हैपनिंग हियर. यस, this is not convectional rainfall. नहीं, will not enter into that domains. I'll explain you after the class. So that's not convectional currents. These are usually the central part of the ocean will always be little calm as compared to the coastal regions. वहाँ पे ना पानी के पास इतना कैपेसिटी होता है रोज गर्म होकर रोज बारिश होने का. At the same time, they have the potential to rain for seasons. But you have to understand this set of water which is there, it is actually moving along. ठीक है? This set of water is moving along, and this set of water will make it rain. Right? Now, wherever this water is there, it always evaporates and it rains. Now we are talking about two different conditions. ये जो पानी है ऑस्ट्रेलिया के पास आया तो क्या कंडीशन होगा, और यहाँ पे गया तो क्या कंडीशन होगा. Now as and when it starts to move, it will move the entire system. ऐसा नहीं है पूरा सिस्टम को ही चेंज करेगा. ठीक है, लेट्स ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड आवर नॉर्मल कंडीशन. ये हो गया ना नॉर्मल कंडीशन, बारिश. दिस इज योर वॉकर सेल. नाउ ट्रेड विंड स्ट्रांग है तो पानी उधर गया. लेट्स गो टू this condition. This is your El Nino condition. El Nino condition, El Nino in literal terms means child Christ. ठीक है? Oh child Christ. Like अरे यार क्या हो गया उस टाइप का. Now these people who are there across the coastlines of Peru, Chile, during the months of January, February itself, they are already aware. अरे यार गर्म पानी है यहाँ पर, गर्म पानी है तो मच्छी नहीं मिलेगा. That means no fishes. No fishes means their economy won't run. Now during the months of December, Christmas होता है, ठीक है, 25th of December. December के लिए celebrations के लिए they need good money, good economy. Now January, that means in the month of next, today we are in the months of October, November, December time periods पे, the water will be warm during the times of El Nino here. Instead of having a low pressure system over Australia, now Australia is experiencing a high pressure system comparatively on the eastern side. Right? So, क्या हुआ? यहाँ पे एक नया सेल बन गया. And these people are not happy because, you know, wherever you have upwelling, their nutrients will be rich, and that nutrients will give good food to fishes, and fishes will be present. Now, इस condition में fishes होगा क्या? नहीं होगा. तो ये fishes ना होने के कारण क्या होता है? That is what you will find that अब फिशेस नहीं आ रहा है, दे विल से दैट ओ चाइल्ड क्राइस्ट, एल नीनो आ गया, एल नीनो आ गया. ठीक है, दैट विल टर्न आउट टू बी वार्म वाटर करंट. सो देखो चाहत का क्वेश्चन ये है, सर हम करंट्स में देखा तो यहाँ पे एक करंट है, पेरुवियन करंट और कोल्ड वाटर करंट है. नाउ दैट कोल्ड वाटर करंट विल नो लॉन्गर बी कोल्ड, इट विल बी वार्म. ठीक है, एल नीनो कंडीशंस यहीं पर नहीं है, मैं इंडिया के ऊपर भी आ रहा हूं, यूएस के ऊपर भी होता है. एवरीवेयर इन द ग्लोब यू विल गेट टू सी. Now, why such changes? That is what is the significance of El Nino. So now you got to understand, fishes are not coming. So the people who are following the religion there, they say that, oh child Christ, El Nino, oh, this is very bad to them. And they see floods. एक तरफ उनके fishing industry सही नहीं चल रहा है, and mostly they are fisheries. And on the other side, they see flooding like condition. Festival time period पे celebrations करना था, ये celebrations नहीं करते, rather than they are going for flood management system. They are going for their they are going for their मतलब economic recovery mode पे चलते हैं लोग. इसीलिए they don't like El Nino there. And of course, Australian people also do not like El Nino because यहाँ पे कौन सा, अगर cold water है on the Australia, you will obviously know that desert-like conditions बनेगा, drought-like conditions, and Australian population, 90% of their population lives on the coastline, and they experience droughts. Along with that, you know, the Great Dividing Range, which is present in Australia, east of Great Dividing Range is all your forest fires, coral reefs, coral bleaching. Corals cannot sustain the lower temperatures also. So coral bleaching, now they are considered to be the rainforest. Now they will start the cycle across the globe. अब देखो एल निनो टाइम पीरियड पे जो winds that has to come on to India. Look here. Let's come to Indian Ocean here. यहाँ पे in the normal time periods we have seen that the wind should actually come to India, but now there is wind moving in this direction. Right? That means those winds which are having the capability of transferring all the moisture which is present in the Indian Ocean to India, will they come with the same intensity? They don't come because half of the winds are moving in the opposite direction now. Right? Now India will have its impact. जैसे एल निनो कब आता है, ये जो फिनोमिना है हर 5 to 7 years में देखने के लिए मिलता है. Right? Now because of that India will have its impact. लेकिन कभी कभार क्या होता है, even in spite of bad El Nino years, ठीक है, imagine the El Nino conditions are so bad, but still if there is a condition when you have warm water on the western equatorial region and cold water on this side, you will see that the monsoons will come onto India like this. That means at least the water that is present in the western part of the Australia, this is nothing but your equatorial and the southern part of the Indian Ocean, you will have good water, right? ये जो moisture है इंडिया के ऊपर आएगा. But लेकिन we have lost the moisture from here. You will at least have decent amount of rainfall. At least. ठीक है? ये जो condition है जहां पे equatorial regions of the Indian Ocean, when this is your warm and this is your cold, this is called as Indian Ocean dipole positive. ठीक है? In spite of यहां पे El Nino conditions है, ठीक है? El Nino conditions है. El Nino conditions के अलावा whenever you have cold water here and warm water here, the rainfall to India is decent. But imagine El Nino के साथ साथ कुछ ऐसी conditions हमारे पास देखने के लिए मिलता है, that is just a minute. ऑस्ट्रेलिया में डेजर्ट है, टेम्परेचर क्यों हॉट नहीं है? सी बेसिकली ऑस्ट्रेलिया इज अ हॉट रीजन. ओनली द ईस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया इज हैविंग लिटिल ग्रीनरी एंड ऑल. वी आर टेकिंग ऑस्ट्रेलिया एज ए होल. So let's not just confine ourselves to the eastern part of Australia, Manu. Okay. Now look here. The same thing I have put it into a different slide. This slide will try to explain the Indian Ocean dipole. पहले dipole मतलब क्या? दो पोल्स होना चाहिए, मतलब नॉर्थ पोल साउथ पोल जैसा, एक साइड गर्म पानी एक साइड ठंडा पानी, और एल्स एक साइड गर्म टेम्परेचर दूसरे साइड कोल्ड टेम्परेचर, दैट इज कॉल्ड डाइपोल. ठीक है. यूजुअली विद इन द इंडियन ओशन, स्पेशली आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द इक्वेटोरियल पार्ट ऑफ द इंडियन ओशन. दिस इक्वेटोरियल पार्ट ऑफ द इंडियन ओशन will be experiencing some kind of anomaly. ठीक है, along with El Nino conditions. Look, I'll show you 3 different cases. In these 3 different cases, you tell me which one will be impacting India more. अब तक जो हमने बात किया वो समझ में आया? कोई डाउट है वहां पर? पॉजिटिव वाला पेज हम पढ़ने वाले हैं अभी. एंड वन मोर थिंग, अगर गर्म पानी है, लुक एट दिस थर्मोक्लाइन टेम्परेचर. सो गर्म पानी है तो थर्मोक्लाइन क्या होगा? इट विल बी लिटिल डाउन. सो देर इज मोर वार्म वाटर हियर. नाउ दिस वार्म वाटर हैज द पोटेंशियल टू एवापोरेट, राइट? दे हैव द पोटेंशियल टू एवापोरेट, मतलब डेप्थ ऑफ द वाटर which is evaporating is more, मतलब इतना वॉल्यूम ऑफ वाटर इज गोइंग टू एवापोरेट. यहां पे अगर एवापोरेशन है तो इतना ही पानी एवापोरेट हो सकते हैं, राइट? ओके. सो सी हियर, दिस इज द पॉजिटिव फेज ऑफ इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल. जब भी इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल पॉजिटिव फेज होगा, हमारे लिए कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, चाहे वो एल निनो का ईयर भी हो. वी माइट सी द वेरिएशन इन द मॉनसून by hardly 3%, 5% itself. But there will be a situation where Indian Ocean dipole is negative with El Nino conditions. ये है हमारे लिए disaster. ठीक है? Negative of Indian Ocean dipole and with El Nino, ये हमारे लिए disaster है. इतना disaster है, you cannot even recover for the next 3 years the disasters that are going to come to India. Now first let's try to understand what exactly is happening during the Indian Ocean dipole positive condition. Positive condition हमेशा positive ही रहता है. देखो, where is your ITCZ zone here? Can I draw my ITCZ zone like this? ITCZ zone हो तो ITCZ zone में जो भी evaporation हो रहा है यहाँ पर, राइट? व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? मतलब बहुत ज्यादा डेप्थ ऑफ वाटर इज गेटिंग एवापोरेटेड. नाउ दिस वाटर विल स्टार्ट टू मूव टुवर्ड्स, ये इक्वेटर हो गया. दैट मीन्स मॉनसून. गॉट इट? क्लियर? सो this is the case of Indian Ocean monsoon. So in IOD, Indian Ocean dipole, positive phase. Positive means where western equatorial region of the Indian Ocean temperature is more as compared to western eastern equatorial Indian Ocean water temperature जो है वो less. लूवियन करंट होता है ना. लूवियन करंट इज नॉट वार्म. ओपन योर एटलस. इट इज मिक्सचर ऑफ कोल्ड एंड वार्म करंट्स. सी, यस, इट्स अ मिक्सचर. वेस्ट ऑस्ट्रेलियन करंट को ही लूवियन करंट कहा जाता है. वो जो अटलस है ना, उनके पास बनाने के लिए पेज नहीं है, तो एल निनो वाला करंट और नॉर्मल करंट एक ही जगह दिखाया. ठीक है? So maybe they might not have used a different map. That's why. यहाँ तक clear है how the monsoon to India, even during the times of El Nino, we are still having good monsoons. हाँ, बस टेम्परेचर में डिफरेंस होना चाहिए. इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल मतलब क्या? बेसिकली द इक्वेटोरियल रीजन्स ऑफ द इंडियन ओशन, they will experience opposite temperatures. Whenever the temperature in the equatorial part of the Indian Ocean, on the western side, if the temperature is more as compared to the eastern side, that will be called as Indian Ocean dipole positive, because it brings good rainfall to us. This is the positive case. Now let's just try to learn the negative phase. Negative phase में बिल्कुल opposite होता है. हर जगह वीक होता है. वीक होने के कारण भी इंडिया के पास थोड़ा बहुत बारिश है, क्योंकि यहाँ से ना the winds which are getting evaporated here, these rainfall will be coming on to India. Now this is high pressure conditions. High pressure conditions, they dissipate right like this. Some part of the winds will be going towards this low pressure system. So चाहत का क्वेश्चन अगेन, सर इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल एंड द एल निनो कंडीशंस, ये केवल साउथ वेस्ट मानसून को ही इम्पैक्ट करेगा? द आंसर इज नो. दे कैन हैव द इम्पैक्ट ऑल थ्रू आउट द ईयर. नो क्यों आप बताओ, वाई दे आर नॉट जस्ट कन्फाइंड टू द साउथ वेस्ट मानसून्स? सो लेट्स जस्ट लिसन फ्रॉम रोहित. रोहित का कहना क्या है? वाई the southwest El Nino conditions and Indian Ocean dipole impact, they are not just confined to the southern southwest monsoon. क्यों? winds पूरे साल चलता है. बहुत ही बढ़िया आंसर. यस, winds देखो पूरे साल ही चलता है. and winds ना, they are global atmosphere यार. winds are always global. Global means they are like this. ये जो विंड है इसका इम्पैक्ट यहीं तक होगा क्या? नहीं ना. दे विल गो अक्रॉस द ग्लोब एंड कम बैक अगेन, राइट? सो दैट्स द रीजन दे विल नॉट जस्ट इम्पैक्ट द लोअर सरफेस विंड्स, दे विल इम्पैक्ट द जेट स्ट्रीम ऑल्सो. एट द एंड व्हाट इज जेट स्ट्रीम? जेट स्ट्रीम इज नथिंग बट फास्ट मूवमेंट विंड. व्हाई इज इट फॉर्म्ड? बिकॉज देर इज अ प्रेशर डिफरेंस बिटवीन दीज टू सेल्स. अगर एक सेल वीक हो गया, दूसरे सेल भी तो वीक होगा ना. क्यों? ये देखो, एक सेल कभी सेपरेट रीजन नहीं होता. ये जो सिस्टम चल रहा है ना यहां पर, ये हैडली सेल है, ये फेरल सेल मान के चलो, लेकिन दोनों के बीच में जो इंटरेक्शन सिस्टम है वो सेम ही है. सो दे डोंट जस्ट कन्फाइन टू वन सिंगल एरिया, दे विल क्रिएट देयर रक्कस ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड. इसीलिए एल निनो मतलब कुछ ऐसे देश है डर के रहते. We are lucky that we are having Indian Ocean dipole positive, but if Indian Ocean dipole is negative, we'll be having severe droughts. Now let's try to understand the study. Now why do we fear for this drought? देखो, for example, we are currently in the month of October, and in the month of October if you are sitting, you have to understand that अभी already news articles आ रहा है ये एल निनो ईयर है करके. हमारा जो बजट जो मार्च में आने वाला है ना, वो भी एल निनो को फैक्टर इन करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है? क्यों? क्योंकि बजट इज नथिंग बट हाउ मच मनी वी गेट इन एंड हाउ मच मनी वी गो आउट. सो इसमें क्या होता है, गवर्नमेंट हैज टू टेक, अगर खाना सही नहीं मिल रहा है, द टोटल आउटपुट इज नॉट राइट, इट हैज टू टेक केयर ऑफ इट्स फूड सिक्योरिटी. नाउ सो मच ऑफ मनी नीड टू बी डिस्पर्स्ड, राइट? इट हैज टू कैलकुलेट दैट. The additional income, that means transportation will be less this year, oil consumption will be less, employment will be less, and banks जो लोन देता है वो भी गिरेगा इन किसान को, क्योंकि वो किसान लोन नहीं लेगा. अगर वो लोन ले भी लिया, वो तो लोन फेल्यूर होगा, he won't pay back. And productivity, the marigold biscuit or any Britannia biscuit that you are using, that becomes costly क्योंकि उनको raw material सही नहीं मिलता, the raw material will be costly. Not just that, it will factor into each and every aspect of your life. Inflation rate will go up. So some things which are happening in the Pacific Ocean, it is even impacting your plate, it is impacting your day-to-day economy. So इसीलिए India is a food secured nation, but what about Africa? What about the monsoonal nations of the southwest? They cannot handle this. इसीलिए El Nino is a serious problem, right? Try to understand the gravity that is there here. Come back. So now at least you got to know that some changes within the equatorial Indian Ocean, it is also impacting the rest of India. Now let's go to the negative phase. Yes. What difference do you see? This is a condition where El Nino के साथ negative phase देख रहे हैं हम लोग. एल नीनो के साथ नेगेटिव फेज. अभी तक ये जो फेज हमने पढ़ा एल नीनो के साथ ही है ना. नाउ फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस इन अ बेटर वे, लेट मी टेक यू हियर. क्लियर? एल नीनो, डू यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस? This is El Nino condition. What I am doing is, let me take you to India and let's try to draw the Indian Ocean dipole positive. Understood why you are having monsoons onto India even during the time of Indian Ocean dipole positive but El Nino conditions. यहाँ droughts दिख रहे हैं, but लेकिन इंडिया में फिर भी बारिश है ना. लेकिन India lost the rainfall, which is the winds that are present here. So Indian monsoon already lost near about 20% of its rain because our winds are not stronger. और देखो यहाँ पर कौन सा रीजन है ये? डेजर्ट, ऑस्ट्रेलिया. ठीक है, डेजर्ट रीजन है. सो अगेन कोल्ड वाटर बिकॉज यू गेट टू सी द लूवियन करंट कमिंग इन द वेस्ट ऑस्ट्रेलियन करंट. वेस्ट ऑस्ट्रेलियन करंट जो है वो ठंडा पानी लेके आता है ना, सो इसलिए ठंडा है, ये गर्म है. ये इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल पॉजिटिव, राइट. लेट्स गो टू द इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल नेगेटिव. नेगेटिव कंडीशंस में ये देखने के लिए मिलेगा आपको, दिस इज कोल्ड वाटर एंड दिस इज वार्म वाटर, राइट. सो वार्म वाटर मीन्स दिस itself will be a low pressure condition, high pressure condition, and you have your ITCZ zone, right. ITCZ zone भी इतना strong नहीं है उस टाइम पे. सो हियर आवर इंडियन ओशन गेट्स डिस्टर्ब्ड. ठीक है, दिस इंडियन ओशन गेटिंग डिस्टर्ब्ड, द रेनफॉल विल नॉट बी मच हाई इन इंडिया, राइट. सो द विंड सिस्टम इज ऑल्सो नॉट टू स्ट्रांग. ये लो प्रेशर है तो इट विल ट्राई टू अट्रैक्ट. इंस्टेड ऑफ विंड्स गोइंग ऑन टू इंडिया, ओनली सम पार्ट ऑफ द विंड्स कम ऑन टू इंडिया. This low pressure is so strong than the ITCZ formations. So यहीं पे उड़ के यहीं पे बारिश हो रहा है. इंडिया में बारिश नहीं है. Now let me show you this. Shift of what? हाँ, it is because of the weakening of the winds. रोहित का क्वेश्चन यह है, सर why does the shift takes place? Shift takes place because of climate change. We do not know the exact reasons why. Even scientific communities is still trying to understand the exact reason. The final conclusion still date is that, number one, global atmospheric circulation weak हो गया क्योंकि कुछ parts of the globe they are receiving excess of heat. ठीक है? Those winds that have to come here, they are moving somewhere else. ठीक है? That is one of the reason. So again, thermocline, more water here for evaporation. Got it? I hope now you are clear. That means more water of evaporation is present here, and this is acting as a high pressure, right? So the Walker cell is now reversed. What was the Walker cell during the positive phase? This is a Walker cell, right? The Walker cell here, high pressure sinking, but ये जो cell है ना उल्टा हो गया ना. Indian Ocean dipole में क्या होता है? The Walker cells will be reversed. Now whenever the Walker cells are reversed, you will see that the rainfall is less. Especially इंडिया को रेनफॉल तब भी इम्पैक्ट होगा जब इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल जो होता है ना वो नेगेटिव होगा, तो इंडिया को नुकसान है. पॉजिटिव है, हम खुश हैं. लेकिन कुछ ऐसे भी सिचुएशंस देखने के लिए मिलता है जब इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल पॉजिटिव हो सकता है एंड ला नीना कंडीशंस देखने के लिए मिलता है. ठीक है, एल नीनो का बिल्कुल रिवर्स वो है ला नीना. ला नीना क्या है? फिर एल नीनो के बाद हर 2 साल में, मतलब आफ्टर एवरी एल नीनो ईयर, द फॉलोइंग ईयर विल बी ला नीना, और द फॉलोइंग ईयर विल बी ला नीना. La Nina in simple terms is the reverse of El Nino. In simple terms, if suppose you are seeing El Nino conditions and that El Nino conditions are reversed. Reversed means ये तो नॉर्मल कंडीशन है ना. नॉर्मल कंडीशंस में क्या होगा? नॉर्मल से ज्यादा, दैट मीन्स नॉर्मल से ज्यादा रेनफॉल यहां पे देखने के लिए मिलेगा. नॉर्मल से ज़्यादा स्पीड ऑफ द विंड, मूवमेंट ऑफ द स्पीड ऑफ द विंड. और हमने क्लाइमेटोलॉजी और ओशनोग्राफी में एक कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़ा था, जितना विंड स्पीड होगा उतना ही ज़्यादा एवोपरेशन. इफ द स्पीड ऑफ द विंड इज मोर, द रेट ऑफ एवोपरेशन इज मोर. दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव टॉट यू क्लाइमेटोलॉजी. सो ला नीना कंडीशंस में द स्पीड ऑफ द विंड विल बी मोर. व्हेन द स्पीड ऑफ द विंड विल बी मोर, ऑब्वियसली ये लो प्रेशर सिस्टम बहुत ही इंटेंस है, तो बहुत ज्यादा रेनफॉल और टू मच ऑफ कोल्डनेस. दैट मीन्स द सेम कंडीशंस विल बी इंटेंसिफाइड. अगेन इट इज अ प्रॉब्लम टू इंडिया बिकॉज नाउ वी हैव टू फाइट द flooding condition. So it is said that the current year which we are facing is an El Nino year. ठीक है. Now देखो, ला नीना अगर पिछले साल भी ला नीना है ये मान के चलो, लास्ट ईयर ऑल्सो इट वॉज ला नीना, नाउ दिस ईयर ऑल्सो ला नीना. इफ यू फाइंड, यू विल कॉल दैट ईयर एज डबल डिप ला नीना. इफ द नेक्स्ट ईयर इज ऑल्सो ला नीना, 3 consecutive years, that is called as triple dip La Nina. So पिछले 1 सेंचुरी में हमने 2 ट्रिपल डिप ला नीनास देखा. मीन्स लास्ट टू लास्ट ईयर द रेनफॉल वॉज गुड and excess of rainfall was there. It is because of this La Nina conditions. So like that, whenever you have La Nina, excess of rainfall and excess of water will be available. Whenever you have El Nino, it will impact the Indian monsoon system. But La Nina plus Indian Ocean dipole positive, floods and heavy rainfall, right? Next, La Nina plus Indian Ocean dipole negative, it will impact rainfall. Indian Ocean dipole अगर negative है, our drought like condition won't be there, but we'll be having less rainfall, monsoon deficit. Indian Ocean dipole negative है, La Nina है, ठीक है, we'll have deficit monsoon. Next condition is El Nino positive and Indian Ocean dipole positive, deficit rainfall फिर भी, ठीक है. क्यों? आप, मैंने एल निनो कहा था, एल निना प्लस इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल पॉजिटिव, डू वी हैव गुड रेनफॉल? नॉट गुड रेनफॉल, deficit in the monsoons will be there, but India will still have rainfall. El Nino positive and Indian Ocean dipole negative. Droughts. El Nino condition and Indian Ocean dipole negative is a drought. इस टाइप की कंडीशंस हम हर 7 साल से लेकर 10 साल के बीच में एक ऐसे साल देखने के लिए मिलता है, राइट? El Nino Modoki, I'll tell you, that is nothing but Madden-Julian oscillations. El Nino Modoki, ये क्या है? मैंने वॉकर सेल कहा था. वॉकर सेल्स दे आर नॉट परमानेंट सेल्स, दे कीप ऑन मूविंग, ठीक है. For example, meanwhile, this is your El Nino conditions. I'll come to the Modoki explanations after 5 minutes. Look at this El Nino conditions, what exactly is happening here. इंडिया के ऊपर कोई बारिश नहीं है. Rainfall, where do you get to see? Africa and equatorial part of the Indian Ocean, or else little eastern part of the Pacific. Now next. Look at the La Nina, exactly opposite of this. Now this is your neutral condition. न्यूट्रल में ऑस्ट्रेलिया के पास लो प्रेशर कंडीशन से रेनफॉल. नाउ दिस विल हैव गुड रेनफॉल टू इंडिया एज वेल. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट. La Nina will have good rainfall. India will also have good rainfall, and excess of rainfall will have. These are the three conditions. Now coming to the El Nino Modoki. Look at this slide. See, here it is all about how you imagine. Imagination के लिए slides बहुत ही मदद करता है आपके लिए. See, Madden-Julian oscillations means these cells which are there. For example, this is week 1. ठीक है. Week 1 पे जो rainfall हो रहा है कहाँ पे? Western part of the equatorial Indian Ocean. Now come to week 2, you'll see that they change their position. Now come to week 3, they change their position. Right? So during the times of monsoons, sometimes what happens is that these positions, they keep on changing. Now do not mix this with Indian Ocean dipole. Indian Ocean dipole is a completely different concept. Modoki or this Madden-Julian oscillations are, whenever you hear the word oscillations, they keep on changing their positions across the earth. Right? कभी कभार क्या होता है, इंडिया का मॉनसून टाइम पीरियड चल ही रहा है, बट लेकिन ये बीच में आके इंटरप्ट करते रहते हैं. एक हफ्ते के लिए इंडिया में कोई बारिश नहीं होगा मॉनसून टाइम पीरियड पे. राइट? इस टाइम पीरियड पे फिर दोबारा आके देखो, फिर से बारिश देखने के लिए मिलेगा. सो दिस आर नथिंग बट द मोडोकी डिस्टर्बेंसेस और Madden-Julian oscillations. And you might have heard about the break in the monsoon system. The break in the monsoon system is because of this. During the times of monsoons, जैसे इंडिया का monsoon season चल ही रहा है, the normal conditions of monsoon are still there, but you will see that some part of this Madden-Julian oscillations come and disturb you. ठीक है. ये जब भी आके इंडियन रेनफॉल को डिस्टर्ब करेंगे, एक हफ्ते के लिए डिस्टर्ब करेगा या 10 दिन के लिए डिस्टर्ब करेगा, फिर वापस अपना मॉनसून शुरू. राइट? And El Nino Modoki, it is nothing but a usage term. Okay, Modoki, it's a Japanese scientist who gave this phenomena. And on the Japanese side also, you'll find Modoki oscillations. Okay, the impact of El Nino onto the Japanese side, that is nothing but your El Nino Modoki. In simple terms, if I have to tell, the impact of El Nino onto the Japanese coast is nothing but your El Nino Modoki. Okay? नेम ही चेंज है. ऑसिलेशंस अक्रॉस द ईस्टर्न कोस्ट ऑफ जापान जो है वो मोडोकी चेंजेस है बस. एंड सी हियर, बीट Madden-Julian, इंडियन ओशन और एल निनो, व्हाट आर ऑल दिस? दे आर ऑसिलेशंस. ऑसिलेशंस ऑफ व्हाट? दीज आर द ऑसिलेशंस ऑफ ओशन वाटर टेम्परेचर, atmospheric oscillations. Now why are they caused? They are caused because of change in temperature somewhere. Climate change. So at the end, we all take this discussion to the climate change and an anomaly of temperature across the global level. ठीक है? That is nothing but your El Nino, Indian Ocean dipole, or La Nina, as well as Madden-Julian oscillations. A similar kind of oscillations in Japan are called as Modoki oscillations. Okay. I'll tell. So चाहत का क्वेश्चन ये है सर, हमने जो इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल, लानिना, एल निनो, ये सब हम साउथ वेस्ट मानसून के लिए पढ़ा, बट हाउ इज इट गोइंग टू इम्पैक्ट द नॉर्थ ईस्ट मानसून्स और एल्स वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंसेस? See, during the times of El Nino is not just a 3 months period or 4 months period. El Nino is a condition which shall last for 8 to 9 months, sometimes 12 months, 16 months. Now, whenever it lasts, it will entirely weaken the lower circulation system and upper circulation system. So, during the times of western disturbances, the northeast monsoons be weaken ho jata hai. Weaken in the sense the wind system is not strong. It will be little weakened. नहीं, secondary circulations can be more, मतलब cyclones can be more, ठीक है, और temperate cyclones can be more. Western disturbances थोड़ा ज़्यादा active हो जाता है. We get little more rainfall during the times of western disturbances. Secondary circulation का impact थोड़ा बढ़ जाता है. Cyclones will be more in the month of October. नहीं, because चाँद का क्वेश्चन ये है सर, रेन डेफिसिट जो है, can't it be sufficed by the excess of rainfall from the October, November, December rainfall? No, क्योंकि the rainfall that you get to see in the northeast monsoons is hardly confined to small area. Only the eastern parts. हाँ, खाली छोटा एरिया में है, इसीलिए it will not. Now look at this Madden-Julian oscillations. Number 1, rainfall here. First week. Second week, the system has changed here. That means right? क्या हुआ? And in the third week, you'll find right? That means this system is keeping on changing. Sometimes you will hear the word that during the times of monsoons onto India, the winds are flowing parallel to the coastline. Okay, what do you mean by winds are flowing parallel to the coastline? In simple terms, there shall be a situation where you will have this condition. It seems like the winds are flowing parallel to the Indian coast. इस time period पे जब high pressure होगा यहाँ पर, तब बारिश नहीं होता 1 हफ्ते के लिए. Now go and read the chapter of monsoons or else climate of India in the Indian physical environment. There cold weather season and warm weather season दोनों दिया होगा, वो पढ़ना चाहिए आपको, right? यहाँ पे कोई डाउट्स है? Yes? Just and this is your western disturbances. ठीक है? Basically Mediterranean Ocean में there's so much of evaporation that takes place, and the winds, moisture, it will be carried by the jet stream. It comes here, it will have a wind system distribution through jet stream. It comes through south of India, Himalayas hai. One is south and other is north, and this wing brings the rainfall to India. हाँ, देखो कभी कभार क्या होता है ना, the western disturbances do not retreat back. Retreat back in the sense, one of the wings of the jet stream will be present south of it. So now, until now हमने जो कुछ भी पढ़ा है ना theoretical level पे, जो theoretical level पे हम पढ़ते हैं, ये practical level पे applicable verbatim नहीं होता. Sometimes the western disturbances should be withdrawing by the month of March. They don't withdraw. Reasons again, difference in temperature and too much of variations in the temperature. So रोहित का क्वेश्चन ये है, सर पिछले 2 महीने पहले जब बारिश हुआ था, why is there so much of rainfall in the Kullu and the Himalayan areas? It is because, imagine this is your jet stream. This jet stream is bringing temperate cyclones here, right? And during the months of June, July, August, where is our ITCZ zone? This is your jet stream, ठीक है? ये आपका jet stream है, which is bringing in western disturbances. And the disasters of Kullu, Manali, and the Himachal Pradesh, it happened in which month? June, July, August. So where is your ITCZ? This is your ITCZ. ठीक है? जहां ITCZ होगा वहां तक बारिश भी होगा. And this ITCZ zone was present over these hills also to an extent. The boundary of the ITCZ is very wide, काफी wide होता है. तो क्या हुआ, एक तरफ से वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंसेस भी आ रहा है, दूसरी तरफ से जो मॉनसून सिस्टम है हमारा, दिस मॉनसून सिस्टम will reach Punjab region, Haryana region and the Himachal region during which time period? सबसे end, right? Now they have also reached the same area. That means there is a contact of western disturbances plus southwest monsoons. So इसीलिए excess of rainfall you got to see in the last 1.5-2 months पहले, जब both they have met at the Himachal region. So too much of rainfall, one from western disturbances, other from the southwest monsoon. Together ITCZ zone बना वहाँ पर. So once in a while you will get to see these kind of situations. Even the cloud burst of Uttarakhand 2013-14, excess of rainfall, it was also because of the same reason. ठीक है? These are the reasons. समझ में आया या conceptually clear है क्या? Okay. If you want, you can take the pictures also and share it in the group as well. Now, any doubts online? Please feel free to ask these doubts. Any doubts online? Clear? So, let me ask you again. Indian Ocean dipole positive plus La Nina conditions. What do you have in India? Flooding like situation. Indian Ocean dipole positive and La Nina, El Nino conditions. Monsoon deficit. ठीक है? Rainfall होगा, but लेकिन deficit rainfall. Indian Ocean dipole negative and La Nina. Again deficit हो सकता है. Indian Ocean dipole should be positive for a good rainfall in India always. ठीक है? And Indian Ocean dipole negative fit with El Nino. Drought-like conditions. Now what happens to Australia during the time of El Nino conditions? Rainfall or droughts? What happens to Australia during the times of El Nino? Droughts. El Nino time period पे Australia के ऊपर droughts. And what about South America? So northwest, it is rainfall or droughts? El Nino conditions. El Nino पे floods है, right? So questions can be these directions also. ये केवल एक जगह पे नहीं है. They are going to impact the entire globe. ठीक है? Global level पे क्या है? जहाँ पे rainfall होगा वहाँ rainfall नहीं होगा. जहाँ पे rainfall नहीं होना चाहिए वहाँ पे rainfall आएगा. Right? Now coming to the concept of pseudo monsoons. Pseudo monsoon is simply nothing but where the monsoon will not take place completely. ठीक है? China, Africa. Look at the situation of Africa. Monsoon means what? Whatever the winds go towards the north, they have to reverse. Seasonal reversal is there. So here, this is what is your IT season. What about Africa? Africa mein, the winds come here and too much of continentality, you'll see the winds going in and they are raining. Right? Now, ये देखो, यहीं तक देखने के लिए मिलता है. Now, during the times of winter, the ITCZ zone is, there is not much change in the Australia. Sorry, not much change in the Africa. So winds जो है, फिर से यही तक है. The reversal of monsoons did not take place, right? Only the monsoon reversal took place till certain small extent. जहां पे full reversal नहीं होता है, उसे कहा जाता है pseudo monsoon. That means only in one direction it rains, right? That is called as pseudo monsoon, where the seasonal reversal of the winds do not take place completely. Partial reversal of the winds takes place. ये pseudo monsoon. ये pseudo monsoon और कहाँ होता है? देखो चाइना में, ठीक है? चाइना देखो. Again, let me draw it here. Look at China. चाइना के अंदर, if this is your ITCZ zone, ठीक है? In fact, your ITCZ zone is like this. ऐसे होता है, ठीक है? क्योंकि यहां लैंडमास है तो लैंडमास को फॉलो करते हुए जाता है. Southwest monsoons will be reaching here. But look at India. During the times of winter, the rainfall will be. India एक ऐसी region है जो complete seasonal reversal of the winds you got to see. All the winds which went to the north, they have completely reversed. इतना perfect reversal और कहाँ देखने के लिए मिलता है? केवल ये साउथ ईस्ट एरियाज में. बट लेकिन गो टू चाइना में ना कुछ ही ऐसे एरियाज में आपको देखने के लिए मिलता है ये. क्यों? क्योंकि again see, when ITCZ zone is here, you also have your temperate region that is present here. Temperate regions में कौन सा ऐसा winds देखने के लिए मिलेगा? Westerlies. So यहाँ से westerlies आएगा, right? Now these westerlies will be present on this region. So even on China, you don't get to see full monsoons. China, कुछ ऐसी regions है जहाँ पर the rainfall is very limited. Here, they are called as pseudo monsoon. ठीक है? Pseudo monsoons on both the sides. Here and some parts of the region, here also pseudo monsoon. Complete monsoon on India, you'll get to see. Southeast Asia, you'll get to see. That's it. So, now Sahel is different. Sahel is any Sahel type of climate hai wo. Sahel is a region. In fact, Sahel is it Africa or South America? अरे Sahel का मतलब क्या? That is nothing but grasslands basically. Sahel regions are grasslands. जैसे उस टाइप की grasslands, सिलवासा सुना है यहाँ पर? Silvassa regions, they are also grasslands. So Sahel is a type of tropical grasslands region, जहाँ पर ये savanna grasslands are present. ठीक है? That is also because of pseudo monsoon. इसीलिए 3 months का rainfall वहाँ पे देखने के लिए मिलता है, बाकी सब dry region. The animals start to migrate for large distances. True. Yes? So, very good online. So, any doubts here? We'll end the class here and tomorrow we'll continue. We'll move to a new chapter. ठीक है? Okay. We'll start with human geography. See you guys. Notes I'll give you. Printed form. Photos. ठीक है. Thank you online.